I am a scooter rider from Peterborough. My name's Kristian. I work in Skate Hut during the weekend and occasionally on the weekdays during a school holiday.
So my name's David Wadlow. I ride scooters at the skate park. I've been doing that for probably 8 years. So this is in Corby. I don't actually live in Corby, but this happens to be a skate park I mainly go to. Yeah, so I live in Peterborough. This is a 30-minute drive from here. So every weekend or so, I come up here, ride scooters with my friends, and that's what I've been doing for 8 years now.
So my cousin actually bought a scooter and he gave me his leftover one, and then I went to the skate park and then I just got hooked on it ever since I was 10 years old. For my 10th birthday, I got a JD Bug foldable scooter, which was obviously a big thing at the time. At
first, when I started riding in 2015, I'd say there was a lot of people at a skate park. I mean, how I got started with scootering was I went on a skate park originally on a BMX and then saw that everybody was on scooters. I'd try on someone else's scooter, so I did that and it was way more fun. I finally got my own scooter and it was the best thing. And then all of my mates were riding the skate park. It was so good. There was loads of competitions, loads of events going on.
I think it's definitely grown more as a sport. The tricks now, people were doing for their enders, they're now doing it in competitions. It's just another level compared to 10 years ago when I first started.
Up until, say, COVID, it's the same for a lot of things, businesses and stuff closing down because of COVID, where it sort of died down a little bit, but I'll say it's still good now. I'm still having fun, but there was definitely a lot more going on when I first started, and that definitely got me into scootering originally.
I think that would be a sick thing for scootering, because then it would gain more respect from other action sports as well. Yeah,
I mean, skateboarding and BMX are in the Olympics. I mean, it's not a traditional sport. It's an action sport. We prided ourselves as being something different from the mainstream sports of football and basketball, all that. It could definitely get into the Olympics, and it definitely should be in the Olympics, because then it would give us a platform to showcase how good scootering is. The scooter's image to a lot of people is a kid's toy, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than a scooter as well.
So I don't really have a favourite rider, but I tend to look at the likes of Eden Galliano, Lucas D'Ameglio and Nick Tedrick, mainly because they do such technical tricks and also gnarly tricks whilst having a really nice style at the same time. I am good friends with Eden. We ride every week together pretty much. I
mean, it's constantly changing. Say originally it would have been Dakota Schutz, or definitely Ryan Williams now, because just the way he's pushing scootering, and he will learn a scooter trick and then learn it on a BMX.
So, I don't know, front 50s or a front 5-0. If we're talking about a certain trick in the air, full heel or a bri flip.
Again, it's always changing, because I could ride tomorrow, learn a new trick, and then that could be my new favourite trick. But I guess simply it would be, say, a backflip or a T-bog. Say or a triple whip or something like that. Something simple is a favourite trick, but any trick that I've just learned that I can suddenly do really well will become a new favourite trick.
I actually just kind of getting beaten up a little bit. I think when you bully yourself into doing the trick until you get it, I think that's super rewarding in my eyes.
There's obviously fear involved. So when there's a really scary trick and then you get over that fear, then that is a really rewarding feeling. And especially when you, say if you learn a trick with your mate as well, and you both learn at the same time, that's a really good feeling, and you hype each other up and make each other try something you usually wouldn't try. You're pushing yourself out your comfort zone. I feel like that's a really fun thing to do, and then it also helps with skills and other part and aspects of your life.
Oh, my least favourite trick? I don't know. I'm no good at like anything to do with opposite bar spins, so like heel rotors or full whips.
I don't really like overheads like air. So an overhead is where the scooter, you bring it up and it goes over your head. That's why we call it an overhead.
So a video part typically would be filmed from anywhere from 6 months to maybe a few years, and it covers all you know, like your best tricks that you've done throughout that time period whilst filming for it.
Like a video part is an edit of scooter tricks. You put more effort in. So say my video part took me a year to film, whereas an Insta edit could take me like 5 minutes.
So I think it's important because it's almost a way to make yourself stand out from the average person who films an Insta clip or something like that. It's very good for the sport, as skateboarding and BMXing, they've both grown from video parts and just videos in general that like get uploaded onto YouTube. I think it's better because it shows a different sense of like professionalism.
So with Instagram, you learn a trick, you upload it, someone sees it for 9 seconds, they scroll through it, and then they don't really like acknowledge anything. Whereas a video part, you can really showcase your riding. So like more about who you are as well, by your music taste, how you edit it as well, if you edit it yourself, and have B-roll, and it's just so much more than what an Insta edit is. So
I started filming it in 2020, and then the pandemic hit, sort of like stopped me from riding a little bit and getting clips for it. So overall that took me about 2.5 years to film for it. But I enjoyed the process. I'm stoked on how it looked and how it came out. And I think it's put me more in the industry than what an Instagram clip would take. So Wadlow brand is a brand that like sponsors scooter riders and also scooter companies. The companies pay money towards Wadlow to do competitions each year and post videos. So it was Wadlow brand who posted my video. I think they started around 2018, maybe 2019, something around there. They started as a scooter reposting kind of brand. They repost scooter edits and scooter videos. It's just a way for scooter riders to access scooter content of like professional riders and as such. It was very exciting for me, as I thought like this is a great way to put my scooter in to a broader audience of people, as like this brand is respected throughout the whole world. I was really surprised. Like it was Jared owns Wadlow, and he actually replied really quickly. I sent it over, and then he was like, "Oh my god, the end trick was insane," and I was like blown away. That because Jared is someone I've known about since I've started riding, and for someone who I look up to then say that the trick that I've done is really good, I was like blown away. I was like, what? So I'm gonna get my video posted on this platform that everybody knows about, and that professional riders and everything you watch is on there, and I'm gonna be on that. I was like, it's mental. I would say the long front 50 bar 180 bar twist was one of them.
Try this. You see how it like burns like the bad taste, like the burn taste. What? That's what it's not.
Yeah. Another one would be my big board slide on Hospital Rail, which is in Shrewsbury. That one was actually both physically and mentally jarring for me, because it was the risk of like hitting the pole, which I did.
Oh my god.
It was also just like the physical battle as well, trying to get all the way to the end of the rail. The very last trick took me, it was
probably 3 years in the making. The trick was a deck grab, triple bar twist to a bri twist, which basically means you grab a deck and then you spin the bars 4 times, and on that last spin you throw it over your head and it comes down by your side and you land on it. Ollie!
What?
And I'd done 3 of the bar twists in 2019, and then from that moment I was always trying, every session trying 4. And then one day in 2022, around Easter time, I got 1 foot on resi, which is sort of a bridge between foam and wood, because you have foam underneath and then a sort of plastic on top, so it is a bit bouncy, so it doesn't hurt as much. I done it on there, got it 1 foot, and then thought, right, I'm doing it straight to wood. Then spent probably an hour and a half trying to land it. I finally landed it, which was insane because I wanted to do it for like 3 years.
I would probably say the first clip in the video, the drop wheel to heel, purely because that was in my my home city, and one of my friends pointed it out to me and was like, yeah, you could definitely do this. And I had a lot of fun filming for it as well. So I work at a skate hut in Corby, inside indoor skate park that's in Corby, called Adrenaline Alley. I love working there. It's a great environment. I'm always super stoked to meet new people in the shop.
Though I know I do scootering and stuff, it isn't actually my job. I don't get paid from this. I only do it for fun. My actual job is I fix lorries, so I'm a lorry mechanic, and I've been doing that for probably a year and a half now. I work there 42.5 hours a week, but yeah, I enjoy it. I like fixing things.
So my dream job would obviously to be a professional rider. Also, I like doing graphic design, so if I can get my hands on some work in graphic design like permanently in the industry of scootering, that would be sick for me.
I mean, my dream job would obviously be able to ride a scooter and get paid for it, but maybe riding becoming a job would make it less fun, so I don't know. But it would be good to be sponsored and get paid trips. That's the only thing I really want, because I love travelling.
I say for scooter parts it's very expensive, but once you get to a certain level you don't break parts as much, and then it just becomes a bit cheaper. But I've always been like dirt cheap. I don't like spending money at all.
It depends what you do. If you could just go to your local skate park, you could buy some parts, which would seem expensive at first, and then just go to your local skate park and be fairly cheap. I like to travel all the time and meet new people, and so I don't spend a lot of money on scootering, but I enjoy it. It's amazing how I could go from the very bottom of the country and meet new people, or go to the very top, and it's like no difference. We're all doing the same thing. We're all come like best mates in like one session, just by say learning a trick together, or just through scooters. It's incredible. Like, it's so much more than just doing a trick on a scooter, just flinging a bit of metal around. Like, it's so much more than that.
You're welcome. Guess over and out.